Alrighty, Mondy, we're here
We
live.
are. We are. Yes, sir.
There's a lot of things we had to discuss, but first, I need to be better at saying like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the Current Era podcast. Thank you. Let's do it, Mondy. News, reviews, updates, tidbits, factoids. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's start off with some Marvel, DC, Star Wars stuff.
Okay.
Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth says that he gets annoyed by actors who star in a Marvel movie and then bash the MCU afterwards. His quote was, "It's like there's films that are successful. I mean, their films are successful, so put me in one. Oh, mine didn't work. I'll bash them. Look, I grew up on a soap opera, and it used to bother me when the actors would later talk about the show with guilt or shame. Humility goes a long way. So I really resonate with that quote. A lot of actors do seem to be doing that with MCU. I think he made a very poignant point. We were like, yeah, like if their movie doesn't do good, and they're like, oh, okay, well, it's just a little stupid little Marvel movie. But these movies that you guys are shaming as an actor, so to speak, you're taking because you want all this money, and so you're paying your bills for the next couple of years off this Marvel movie, but you want to bash it just because. I don't know. That quote really resonated with me. That's why I felt the need to put it in here. Do you have any thoughts on that?
uh, I mean, on the surface level, sure, I agree with him, but like, it's not going to stop. So,
It seemed like a direct shot at Anthony Hopkins too, which is crazy because he's like 90 years old. Like, relax, Chris Hemsworth, and he's your father in the movie. So, but I don't know. Maybe you could talk about other people as well, because I have heard other actors like do that. The
mm.
live action Spider-Man noir film our show is officially happening at Amazon. It's been greenlit. Nicolas Cage is cast as the lead. Of course, he plays Spider-Man Noir in the Into the Spider-Verse movie. I thought he was a standout in the first one. The story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator in the 1930s New York who was forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. Um, this is a very weird project, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts? Are you having any kind of excitement towards this at all?
I hope it's not black and white.
It's probably going
And
to be
brother,
1930s
um,
noir.
yeah, you're right. I mean, look, it could be interesting. I'm not going to lie. Mystery Spider-Man. Okay, cool. But if it's in black and white, that's just not fun for me. So, I'll catch it on streaming. Maybe I won't.
Yeah, it's coming to streaming. But didn't you enjoy the Marvel's Werewolf by Night in black and white?
That was my one dig against it.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, there's rumored that the new Spider-Man movie. Speaking of Spider-Man, the Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland is rumored right now, not confirmed, that the symbiote will play a part in that movie. Are you excited for the return of the symbiote in the Spider-Man verse?
I guess if I had only seen the movies, like only, maybe, but because like I'm kind of invested in Spider-Man overly in terms of the video games, even certain comic storylines, even animation or TV shows or whatever the case may be. I am like sick of Venom. Like, I mean, and to no fault of their own, Insomniac just did it with Spider-Man 2, and I was already sick of it before then. So honestly, I don't love this. It seems like they really want to kick out this Venom storyline. So, and like you said, this is not confirmed. So this could be totally wrong in a month or two when they really announce it. But it seems like studios are really trying to get like that big not street level thing when it comes to Spider-Man. Because I mean, look, Marvel has a point. This is their fourth film with Tom Holland. So even though we've seen him in space, I mean, we've seen him do time travel, we've seen him go through different dimensions, shit like that. So like, how do you make it bigger and better? You and get the alien, okay? Like, cool, but I don't know, man. Personally, I'm kind of worn out by the Venom storyline, honestly. But I'll be there opening night.
Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, the Venom storyline, although it's been done to the ground, is a very important story to Spider-Man. Like how the Killing Joke is to Batman. Like, it's something that we see a lot. But I mean, I feel like they should hold off on it, to be honest. Just because, like you said, it has been so relevant everywhere lately, or so prevalent, should I say, everywhere lately. But if they do the symbiote thing, I think you can't do it right in one movie. I think like how they did in Spider-Man 3 with Sam Raimi. I think you should maybe draw it out over this new trilogy. So maybe the first movie is just the introduction of the symbiote itself. Maybe part 2 is when it takes over Peter, and then we have the black suit, and then maybe the third movie in this new trilogy will be the Venom introduction. Because doing all that in one 2-hour package, I just feel like will lead to maybe some of the problems that Spider-Man 3 that Sam Raimi might have had. What are your thoughts on that? Stretching it out.
It won't happen. Marvel isn't that patient anymore. So that's wishful thinking, in my opinion. As far as an idea, I don't even know if I love it. Honestly, I don't know if I love stretching out Venom for 3 films. So yeah.
It's not stretching out Venom. It's the symbiote arc. Okay, I got you. Speaking of Spider-Man, Madam Web is also now streaming on Netflix. Um, yeah, it was number 1 on Netflix, which is no surprise. People, I mean, it's the new hot thing. I hope Sony doesn't think, oh, people really want to see this. No, they don't. It's just that it was literally in the theaters a month ago or 2 months ago, so people just want to go see what the hype is about. And I actually have a problem that leads to my next issue, which is kind of a brief little segue. Dune 2 is also now streaming on Max. And I don't like this trend of movies that come out in the theaters, these big movies, and they come to streaming or digital a couple months later. It's ruining the theater experience, in my opinion, because people are just, or the movie theater industry, because it's like people are just like, okay, well, I'll just wait a couple months until the movie comes out, and I won't go to the movies and see it. Maybe that's why Dune didn't make $1 billion. I think it's at like 700 or 800 million right now. But it's like there should be kind of like an incentive to go to the movies and see it, because you're like, I won't be able to see this movie again until it comes out on on Blockbuster or whatever, or on Blu-ray maybe a year from now. Like that's kind of the incentive of going to the theater. That's one of the incentives, in my opinion. So I don't like this idea of it coming. Like even the Fall Guy was now on digital right now. That's one of the. It's not a great movie, but I really enjoyed it. It's one of the original scripts that did horrible at the box office, but like it's already on digital. That's the movie with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Like I just do not like this new trend of movies coming so quickly out. What are your thoughts on that?
So in terms of the Fall Guy in particular, I agree. It only having a 2 or 3 week release window and then going to digital, that's fucked up. But something like Dune, I don't know if I can necessarily agree. It had I mean, it seemed like a 60-day, maybe even a little longer release before it got on digital. And traditionally, that's how it's worked. I mean, even I can remember when Rush Hour 2 came out in theaters, and then a month and a half later, 2 months later, it was in Blockbuster. So like that's
It was in
normal.
Blockbuster 2 months later. No, it was not. That's a lie.
No, man, like these things,
No,
it
no, it
happens
was
fast,
not.
man. Yeah.
2 months later,
hmm Yeah.
I'd have
It
to look
was
at
it was
that.
relatively quickly. It definitely wasn't 6 months. Like, you don't have
Really,
to wait. Yeah, you don't. Movie
I remember.
theaters aren't going to wait 6 months for something like that for people to consume again. Um, so
I
yeah,
could be wrong
that's
there.
my.
I could have
But
swore back in the day, especially, it would take at least like 6 8 months or to a year for it to come out.
I mean,
And you
that
saying like
doesn't.
2 months?
That's not saying that it wasn't still in theaters having one random time slot, but things would still come out on back then to be Blockbuster or DVD or whatever the case may be. But
Okay,
yeah.
I have to look into that. The making of X-Men '97 is now streaming on Disney Plus, or as of May 22nd. So yeah, it's now streaming. If you guys want to see the behind the scenes on the new X-Men '97 show, check it out on Disney Plus. Um, Speaking of X-Men, a new live action X-Men movie has officially been confirmed to be in the works. This is an MCU version of an X-Men movie. What are your thoughts?
No
They're finally
surprise.
doing it.
Yeah, I mean, we've known this for a while. They've been teasing it for a while. It's so interesting, man. Like the MCU kind of feels like it's in like the end phases, um, at least for me. And they're just now getting to Fantastic Four and X-Men. So, but I mean, that's not really through any fault of their own. Like they just didn't own the property, so they literally could not do them. Um, even to the point where like they couldn't call Wanda a mutant or Pietro. So yeah, uh, but they could use the characters as long as their powers were like kind of different. So what the fuck ever, man. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this is only a good thing. Hugh Jackman, welcome back, bitch. I expect you front and center, bitch.
You welcome. You
And
welcome.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, I'm excited for this, and it's funny you say this is the end of the MCU. I think this is having this kind of property like X-Men and Fantastic Four would, if anything, signify a new beginning for them, because now you can tell so many more stories and expand this verse so much more by having these properties now under the Disney banner. I did see somebody made an interesting point online. I don't know if it was Twitter or TikTok. They were like, doing an X-Men movie these days almost kind of seems like a disservice to the characters, because it's just so many characters and so many iconic storylines. So maybe this would be better if they really put just like a series format. Of course, have them on a movie sometimes, but like maybe like a series format, but like not just your typical Disney Plus series, like a Game of Thrones type budget for like an X-Men show. Because there's no way you can get all the characters and do them justice, or we might have like a repeat of the situation where how Cyclops and Rogue back in the day had these minimized storylines. Um, but I think that could be a very interesting idea as well, like having a full budget X-Men series, take it like give it like a movie budget, but like have time to really space out that X Mansion and all the mutants and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that potentially happening? It won't happen, but
uh, I don't love it. I'm gonna be honest. I mean,
you don't like
I don't
it?
think I don't think there's that many X-Men that are that interesting to like.
Are you serious?
That's
Oh,
just this Monday.
okay.
This is my opinion.
Sorry,
I'm sorry that you asked me a question and I gave you an honest. You know what? I'm gonna lie, man. I can't wait.
No,
I
no,
want to
no,
learn
no,
all
no.
about Angel and the Beast and Jubilee. Oh my god!
Don't do Angel and Beast like that, bitch.
I don't give a fuck
Don't
about
do it.
either one of them. I'm sorry. Like I don't care. And I don't want a
Okay.
series that's gonna give me more about them. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, obviously, the Fox X-Men took that in just a crazy direction. And like you said, like Cyclops, Jubilee, even Storm, like they were given basically nothing. And I don't want that again. But I don't want the complete inverse of that either. I don't need
So,
fucking season-long storylines with Jubilee. Sorry.
so you think in a 2-hour package you can really give, let's say, even 5 X-Men the right time?
They can do it with Avengers, so yeah, why not? They made
So
the
you,
Avengers interesting enough.
that's true. Okay. Um, the new Marvel television rebranding will allow audiences to decide what they want to watch without MCU continuity obligations. The quote
It's
is, "You
about
can jump
time.
anywhere. You can jump in anywhere. They're interconnected, but they're not. You don't have to watch A to enjoy B. You can follow your own preferences." You seem to like this. I don't, but explain why you do like this.
This nigga Monty said, "You need to be punished if you don't watch everything, bitch." Look, man. Look, I'm just. I guess I'm just at a different point in my life, man. Like I am not okay with them putting out bullshit just because they know that I'm gonna watch it. Like I'm not okay with that, and like I'm done doing it. Like I'm tired of them getting away with it, and I'm tired of watching bullshit project after bullshit project just because I feel like I just have to know. So yeah, cool. Ultimately, what I mean, I really don't think that this even really matters because whatever they put out in this vein is going to be so irrelevant. Like it's gonna be like the thing that we just got. Wilson Fisk was in it. Daredevil was in it.
Echo?
Echo, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be shit like that. Like who really gives a fuck about Echo? Like it's gonna be shit like that to where like it really doesn't matter. So ultimately, I don't think that this is a big deal at all. Like I still think like the mainstream MCU is going to be the mainstream MCU, and like you're going to have to keep up. But this will be fun little side adventures for, and I think this is more so them just coming clean. Like, look, guys, this is just what it is. Like this is going to be a little spotlight thing. Enjoy it. If you don't want to watch it, fine. And thank you for being honest, because like I'm not watching I Am Groot. I'm not watching What If season 3, season 2. I'm not watching it because it's not important. So yeah.
Yeah, as you said, I feel the opposite. I feel like they should be punished. Like you should watch everything the MCU puts out. I like the idea if you're gonna have an interconnected
Oh
universe,
God.
reward the fans who love this stuff and watch everything and
They
make
have been
everything
doing
matter.
that.
Now, of course, I know, like you said, it's probably gonna be more so under that Marvel Spotlight banner where they're gonna do stuff like this. But still, I just like the idea of the interconnected universe feeling that much more interconnected, like how it is in the comics. So the fact that they might be straying away from that in some aspects is just kind of, I don't know. I'm not the
I
biggest fan of
mean,
it personally.
but realistically, this isn't going to change anything for you. Like somebody like yourself that's going to watch anything anyway. So like it doesn't matter.
It is because things like that aren't going to be tied into everything. Then maybe like a show like an Echo won't have any kind of meaning in the grand scheme of things. So it's like
It doesn't have any meaning now, but you still watched it.
it does have a meaning.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a meaning. It doesn't have a meaning,
I think it
bro.
has a meaning. I think it has a meaning. Anyway, shut the fuck up.
All right. Okay. This nigga
Moving
Monty
on
act
to
like things are changing. I don't understand, nigga. Nothing's changing.
moving on to Star Wars, it's one piece of thing. O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, reflects on losing out on the Lando Calrissian role in the Solo film. His quote was, "I auditioned 4 times. I was like, man, I got this in the bag. When I got the call that Donald Glover got it, I deleted every Childish Gambino song I had. Of course, I'm sure he's probably just joking, but I'm totally glad he didn't get that role. He's fat as fuck, doesn't deserve it. Um, he did he did end up getting his Star Wars role in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. It was like a
Wow.
throwaway role, but I mean, honestly, I do like the guy. But if you're gonna like, this might get me canceled. Like, if you're gonna be a particular character that's already been portrayed on screen, like, why would you look totally different? Especially in his younger days, like, why would you be fat? That doesn't make any
Niggas
sense.
can change, bro. What? You can be fat at one point in your life and then lose hella weight as you get older? Oh my God, Mondy. What is wrong with you?
So if Solo came out and they casted a 300-pound man in Solo in his 20s, you'd be like, oh, okay, sure. I'm sure he just lost the weight when he got older.
I mean, I'm sure that they would explain that in the movie, yeah.
They would explain his weight. Why?
Because clearly he would have to get from point A to where Harrison Ford was in the film. So yeah, they would explain.
So how do you explain that? Oh man,
What do you
I've been
mean?
on Coruscant just throwing them donuts back, man. Like, how do you explain that?
Whatever the case may be, they can explain it in Star Wars. They have, I'm sure they have. It could just be as simple. There's a ray gun, and who
There's a
cares?
ray gun that can make. Oh, yeah, you're
Who
losing the
cares?
plot, brother.
Am I?
Anyway, let's move.
Am I?
Let's move on.
Like I said, you're fat as fuck. Jesus. Yeah. Post that fucking
He's actually
clip,
not fat.
bitch.
He's actually not fat as fuck, but
He really isn't, but okay.
but he's not my Lando. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Tom Brady says that the Netflix roast jokes affected his kids and he will never do one again. I mean, why would you do one again anyway? But the quote is, I love when people are making fun of me, but you don't see the full picture all the time. I'm going to be a better parent as I go forward because of it. I actually watched this when he had this quote. I watched the Pivot podcast interview. And yeah, he just said, like, basically the roast was a cool thing, but his kids are affected by it because of the jokes towards their mom and Giselle and stuff like that. And I get it, I guess, but it's just interesting. Like, you didn't watch the roast, so I'm sure you don't have all the context. But do you have any thoughts on that at all? I just thought it was interesting.
Not really. I mean, he got paid $25 million to do it, so I'm sure that's why he did it initially.
Right? Really, he got paid $25 million?
Oh yeah, Netflix threw him a bag.
Oh shit, yeah.
So
Oh yeah, talk about my mom, my dad, grandma, all that. Yeah, talk
yeah.
about her.
All right, Jesus. Okay.
I love you, grandma.
That nigga is nuts.
Love you, bitch.
Oh,
The 2024 MTV Movie and TV Awards are canceled. The show will likely return next year within a reimagined format. I actually look forward to the MTV Movie Awards. I'm sure no one else does. I like award
Nobody,
shows.
literally nobody.
I know, but just for people who like me who may care about the MTV Movie Awards, guys, it will not be here this year for whatever reason.
Oh no.
Netflix has locked in a 3-year deal to exclusively stream NFL Christmas Day games. NFL games aren't as big on Christmas as the NBA games, I don't think, but it's still kind of a big deal in my opinion. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, they just started doing Christmas games, I think last season.
Well, I mean like holiday games, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Thanksgiving is pretty big though.
Yeah, man. This is interesting. I mean, excuse me. Obviously, as a diehard NBA fan, I don't want any competition on Christmas. I love my Christmas Day NBA games, but sure. I mean, Netflix is making some interesting moves here, so
They are.
I appreciate them for trying to stay relevant and not resting on their laurels. And they're steadily bumping up that subscriber price for a reason. So we're getting live sports, we're getting live comedy, we're getting we might be getting more sports, in terms of NBA or something. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I actually love Max for showing the NBA game because, like, somebody like myself, I don't have cable. I haven't had it in the last 10 years because I can just stream anything I want. And I love the fact that Max is able to just let me see NBA games whenever I want, like the big ones anyway. So thank you, Max. HBO Max, love you. I would love a sponsorship. The NBA is finalizing media rights deals with ESPN, NBC, and Amazon later this week. 2024-2025 will officially be the last season for Inside the NBA on TNT with Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Shaquille O'Neal. I know you're a big fan of Inside the NBA. Most people who watch the NBA are. They're a great team. What are your thoughts on the end of this dynasty?
It sucks, man. It just sucks. I talked about it with Javar in the NBA pod. Yeah, it looks like it's nail in the coffin and the deal is done. So it's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, Ernie is about to be 70, or I think he's 71, I think. So I mean, he's probably just gonna retire. He doesn't want to work anywhere besides Turner. He's been working there since 1989. So yeah, I mean, even if Amazon or whoever offers them $300 million a piece, I don't know if Ernie would do it. Like, and that sounds crazy, but you know, from all accounts and all reports, he's like super loyal to Turner, and you stay with the place for all that time. It's hard not to be. So, uh, yeah, I mean, we may see Charles Barkley and Kenny and Shaq in some form or fashion with like a new crew, and it won't be the same. I mean, unfortunately, the the peak time of inside the NBA, or the reign of it anyway, is over as we know it. So next season is going to be the last season. It's gonna suck, but this is the NBA Adam Silver wants. He wants the deals. He wants the money. So he's getting it.
Yeah, I'm sure inside the NBA having a farewell tour will just be them just saying whatever they want to because they know it's gonna be the last year. So I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Um, Venue Sports is the name of Disney, Warner Brothers, and Fox's new joint streaming service. It will combine ESPN, TNT, and Fox Sports. It's coming this fall. As a big guy, somebody that watches sports like yourself, you do a lot of sports betting. Is it something that you'd get this package?
Only if it's absolutely necessary. But
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I'm getting worn down with all these packages. I have
I
I have
know,
like so
right?
many at this point.
Yeah, I
So I'm
know,
just
right?
like, dude, it's honestly it's to the point where like I don't even know what I have and what I don't anymore. Like it's so hard to keep
Right.
track of everything. So
Yeah.
I mean, if I try to turn to TNT and it doesn't work, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, do I have to have this fucking specific package? So we'll see. We'll see.
Shogun seasons 2 and 3 are in the works.
Yeah.
Actor Hiroyuki Sanada will return. Although season 1 of Shogun covers all available source material, the estate of James Clavell, author of the Shogun book, will be working with FX and Hulu to develop the new season. So Shogun getting a season 2 was a complete surprise to me and to you. But now it's getting a third season. Like they're just trying to Game of Thrones and shit. What
hmm
are your thoughts?
I mean, I have similar thoughts to an in now season two. I don't love it, but there were things to be explored. Not two seasons worth of things, I don't think, but things. So yeah, I mean, it was a bit interesting. They are trying to drag it. They realize that they have a potential, hit on and they're just like, okay, hold on now. Y'all want to come back, don't you, bitch? You want to work more, don't you, bitch? So okay, let's do it. This is what happens
Yeah, I
when a
think
show's successful.
I think FX saw all them Emmy Award or Emmy Award buzz. They were like, okay, we got something here, and people love it. So this is our Game of Thrones, and I think that this will end up being Hiroyuki Sanada's legendary role. Like it's funny how actors all have that one role, the big actors anyway, that they're known by the most. And it's always interesting when it comes later on in their life, like with Brian Cox with his Succession or with Hiroyuki Sanada here. So yeah, I love that for him. If it's going to be good. Um, the show called Three Body Problem has been renewed for season 2 at Netflix. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. I don't know if you heard of this show, Three Body Problem. It's on Netflix. It's getting a season 2 for people who watch that show. I don't watch it yet, but maybe I'll consider watching it down the line. The Boys has been renewed for a season 5. Season 4 comes out, of course, next month.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I love more Boys content. Pause.
What?
Yeah. Anyway,
All
um,
right.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith has been renewed for a season 2. Donald Glover and Maya Erskine will not return, however. Um, so probably going to get a new Mr. Obviously, you get a new Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I was really a big fan of the show that came out. It was a surprise to me. I think it was really, really good. It's one of my favorite shows of the year so far. Um, and having a new dynamic will be interesting, and probably like be like an adjustment period for me. But in universe, it does make sense because in the Mr. and Mrs. Smith program, the spy program, there's many Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like they even meet other ones in the show. So any spy couple can be a Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So it totally makes sense why they do it this way. But I hope Donald Glover's writing team is still on board because, like I said, season 1 was really good.
I don't really have much to add. Didn't watch the show, so yeah.
Um, The show Jeopardy will be getting a spinoff on Prime Video titled Pop Culture Jeopardy. It will focus on music, film, TV, stage, sports, and more. Are we perfect for this, or like what? Like it sounds like we're up our alley, but yeah,
Yeah, it's so funny. A lot of people were just like, the best part of Jeopardy is these fucking super nerds going on there and not knowing who like Michael Vick is. So, and I kind of agree. Like, I don't want to make it any easier for anybody. Like, you should go up there and be like, who is the all time leading scorer in points in the NBA, and they were like, oh god. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure I really love this.
yeah. Those contestants on Jeopardy are funny. Like they know about the fucking, black holes and shit, but don't know who fucking Beyonce is.
Basically.
Um, a Legally Blonde prequel series is in the works. The series will follow Elle Wood's character in high school. I watched Legally Blonde a long time ago, 1 and 2. I don't remember anything that happened in them, but I know it has a big fan base. So, fans of Legally Blonde, you guys have a prequel series coming your way.
Oh boy.
Um, a live action Tomb Raider series is also in the works at Prime Video.
How
Any
many of
thoughts
these are
on
we gonna
this?
get? My
I know,
goodness.
right? Yeah.
Those are my fucking thoughts. I mean, look. First of all, I'm really not a big Tomb Raider fan because I watched the ones that had Angelina Jolie against my will when I was a child because my mom would take me to the theaters to watch them. Um,
You didn't like them?
it's not that I didn't like them, but I just didn't love them enough to like revisit them again. So,
Okay.
and then there's all these video games, and now in the current culture. So, the video games are fun, but like as far as like the storylines, they've never been interesting to me, and I don't think I'm gonna watch this either.
Yeah, Tomb Raider is something that Hollywood has been trying to make fetch for many years now. We had the reboot, got the games, we had anime, I believe. I think there is something there. I think maybe a series might be a better format than a movie,
They're
honestly.
trying everything,
Uh,
so
yeah, so hey,
this might be it.
this might be it, man. I'll definitely give it a chance for sure. I like Tomb Raider enough for what it is. Roadhouse is getting a sequel. The Roadhouse reboot with Gyllenhaal it did amazing on Prime Video in terms of its numbers and its viewership, and so this is no surprise to me. This will be all new territory, which is interesting because that was, like I said, a reboot of a classic film. So I'm excited, man. I enjoyed Roadhouse for what it was. It's not like probably like one of my top 10 movies of the year. It definitely won't be, but it was a fun time. I enjoyed it for what it was. So I'm happy it's getting a sequel. I like Jake Gyllenhaal in that role. Um,
I don't care. I'm sorry.
a new John Wick spinoff movie about Donnie Yen's character Kane is in the works.
Mm.
Uh, as a big Donnie Yen fan, but as somebody who did not like his, I guess, depiction in John Wick because he was blind or because he couldn't fight the way he always does,
Mm-hmm.
are you here for? First of all, don't lie. I know you're here for this. But are you going to act like you don't care about this?
No, this is great. Hopefully, they can give us some flashback to before he lost his sight. Maybe build up to him actually losing it and how that's changed him. So at least we can like get some like actual badass Donnie Yen fights in here. Hopefully, this is given like a real budget, which I'm sure it will be. I mean, Donnie Yen wouldn't do this shit if it wasn't. He's a big enough star. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait for this. This would be fucking amazing. Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. John Wick has really been expanding that universe like crazy, man. It all started from a little small scale movie, and now we got a show, a prequel show. We got a ballerina show coming out. I mean, movie coming out with Ana de Armas. We have this. I'm excited
In
for it,
four
man. And
films.
Kane's a bad boy. I mean, he was on John Wick's level as he was blind, so I can only imagine, like you said, if they do show him with the sight, he's probably maybe even a better boy than Baba Yaga. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. Um, these are some of the horror sequels that are coming out next year. I just kind of want your ranking of them in terms of excitement. There's quite a lot of horror sequels coming out next year. We got Saw 11. We have Insidious 6. Thumbs down from Julian. Megan
Boo.
2.0.
Oh God, I'm gonna be there opening
We
night for
got
this bullshit.
28 years later. Cillian Murphy has returned. He has confirmed he is returning in this role. This is a zombie movie.
Mm-hmm.
28 days later and 28 weeks later. The Black Phone 2. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
It's not needed. So thumbs down.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2. You haven't seen part one.
Yeah, I haven't seen part one.
And then we have Final Destination Bloodlines.
Let's fucking go, bitch. It's about time you got to the
Uh,
banger, bitch.
so that's your number one, I'm assuming, Final
Yeah,
Destination?
let's go. I mean, yeah, I guess it's either that or Megan. Even though the first Megan was just, it was not good. But I had fun at multiple parts in that movie. So maybe not intentionally having fun, but I had fucking fun. So I can't wait to see what they do with part two. And yeah, Final Destination is back. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, my most anticipated is probably Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And my least anticipated is, well, I'm gonna avoid out 28 Years Later because I haven't seen 28 Days Later or 28 Weeks Later. I heard it's a good zombie film though. But my least favorite will probably be Insidious 6. Like, Insidious, stop it. The first one was a really good movie, and then they just went to hell, and then they went beneath hell, and then they went beneath the underneath of hell as they kept going on. So stop it.
Mm,
Let's talk some trailers. There's quite a bit today.
mm.
We have the trailer for a documentary about the rise and fall of the MoviePass app. Remember that? We all had it at one point. $10 a month, guys. You got to see unlimited movies at any theater you wanted to, as many times a day as you wanted. I, as a moviegoer, this was like my wet dream. I was literally using this so much. And everybody knew who had to pass. Like we would always say, like, there's no way they're able to sustain themselves. And sure enough, like, it was to the point where, like, when MoviePass ended, I was like, okay, sure, I knew that was going to happen. So it was fun while it lasted. Like, I wasn't even sad. Like, this was inevitable. But there's a fucking documentary on this coming May 29th on HBO Max. Any thoughts on the trailer documentary, or do you care about this?
Yeah. The rise and fall. It's so crazy. Like this is like the ultimate cheat code. And this is one of those things, like, in the moment, I didn't realize like how much I was like getting away with it. Like I was just like, wait, this is only $10. I can go to AMC, Regal, any of these other shitty theaters, and they have to let me in. Like, yeah, bitch, here, bitch. Like I got it. Like get the fuck out of my way.
Right.
Yeah. Like you said, when it ended, I was just like, no, not like you. I was like, fuck, like these niggas finally figured it out. Like, damn. But I mean, this was back in the day when Netflix itself was only like $6.99, and like $9.99 was kind of expensive for a subscription back then. But I was like, little do they know, I would pay $29.99 for this. Like,
right.
But yeah, man, this it's so weird because, like, I'm pretty sure I said this on social media. Like, I forgot the MoviePass existed. Like, it almost felt like a dream. Like, it's just like, okay, like, did that really happen? Like, I mean, I don't know. I just didn't have it for that long. It feels like so. I don't know if I'll actually watch this documentary, but it's good to relive the memories. So, shout out to MoviePass.
I won't be watching it at all because, like, I'm pretty sure I know the rise and fall. Like, nigga, y'all couldn't sustain yourself. Like,
Yeah.
what other things could you possibly what could I learn in this documentary? Like, I knew this wasn't going to be able to be sustainable. We have the trailer for people who watch Only Murders in the Building. I don't. Julian doesn't, but this is the show starring Martin Short, Martin Freeman. No, not Martin Freeman.
Wakanda
Martin
forever.
Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez. Season 4 trailer is out right now. It comes out August 27th on Hulu. A lot of fans of this show. Guys, go watch it online. You have the trailer for season 2 of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, coming to Prime Video August 29th. Julie doesn't watch Lord of the Rings, of course, as we all know. I watched season 1 of The Rings of Power. It was cool. It was good enough for what it was. This new trailer looks like it's taking in a much more darker territory, which I always love darker, so I'm here for that. I'm sure they heard the complaints from season 1 from the true Lord of the Rings fans, and so it looks like a course correction season, which I'm here for if done right. Yeah, let's get more Rings of Power in here. Love it. I think it was like the most, like, the highest budget show of all time, I believe. I don't know if it's been passed yet since then, but yeah. We have the first trailer for Dune Prophecy coming this fall. This takes place 10,000 years before Paul Atreides. It shows the origins of the Bene Gesserit. Yeah, this came out of nowhere for me. I mean, I knew the show was happening, but I didn't think we get a full length trailer like this with this much detail, and it looks amazing to me. What are your thoughts?
I had to see more. I mean, the thing about Dune is that there's so much going on at any given point that, um, you know, it tries to focus on a lot of things, and this show is focusing on one specific thing. So at least based on the trailer, so that could be a good thing. Like they're just focusing on the Bene Gesserit, and I'm guessing we're going to figure out how things came to be, how certain bloodlines came into power, and blah 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 blah. But I couldn't tell who the story was about. Like I kind of needed a main character or like a face, and I couldn't decipher who was who. But but this is the first trailer of, I'm sure, many that we're going to get before it actually releases. So, um, the world looked great. It looks like they're putting budget behind it. But I'd be lying if I said that I was like excited about this. It didn't do much for me, realistically.
I'm excited as a big Dune fan. I wonder if Denis Villeneuve will have any input in it because I wonder if it can maintain that level of greatness without him being involved. But just last pod, I remember you were saying like how HBO Max doesn't have that many great shows or that much content, new content for people to watch and stuff like that. And I'll take this, man. I'll take one big HBO Max show like this over 8 average Netflix shows any day of the week. I like the quality over quantity that HBO Max seems to put out with their shows. So all their shows are big in scale and stuff like that, and so I'm here for it, man. We have the trailer for Trigger Warning, starring Jessica Alba. Premieres June 21st on Netflix. She's a badass. This is the point in every actor's career where they get old and they want to be a badass all of a sudden. So, what are your thoughts on this Trigger Warning trailer?
It's unfortunate because at one point in my life, I lived for movies like this, just like these ridiculous movies where this person has a particular set of skills, and if you make me angry, then action montage. I don't give a fuck about these kind of movies anymore. Could I blame the fact that they're just not good anymore? Could I blame the fact that they're all just so redundant? Like they don't even try to be different. Okay, I mean, the last one that I can remember that actually tried to be different was like The Foreigner with Jackie Chan. That was like 8 fucking years ago. So I don't know, man.
Was Extraction different enough for you or no?
I don't really count Extraction in that vein because it's more military. So like
Okay.
I that's like a different branch for me. But
Okay.
like when it's just like this average citizen who used to be this guy, like
Oh, okay.
that's kind of
Okay.
what I mean. Like
Gotcha.
in the
Gotcha.
vein of Taken or
You just saw Beekeeper
like I
though,
said, The
right? And
Foreigner.
you really enjoyed that movie.
Beekeeper was still probably the best movie I've seen this year.
That's crazy
And
to me.
well, you didn't see it because you think Jason Statham's just a goober or whatever. I don't fucking know. Um, yeah,
You
thank you.
saw
You're
it.
right. The Beekeeper. Yeah, thank you for pointing it out. Yeah, this is exactly what I mean. Try to be fucking different. So yeah, this movie's gonna be ass. I'm not watching this. Shout out to Netflix. Shout out to Jessica Alba. I'm not watching this. So yeah,
The fact that you watched Dune 2 and I haven't even seen Beekeeper, but you think that movie is better than Dune 2 is amazing to me.
I had more fun.
Um, but yeah, honestly, I think you hit the nail on the head, though. I think you really did. I think these days, man, the saturation when it comes to these kind of movies, revenge movies evolving an ex elite killer, it's through the roof, man. You've got to have one or two things in order for me to really get me in a seat these days when it comes to these kind of movies. Number one, you've got to bring something like you said, very different to the table, very special, or you have to be like a bona fide movie star. And like I love me some Jessica Alba, obviously. So like, but she's not enough to get me in the seat to be like, okay, I can watch you just because I love you as an actor, even though you are fine.
I
I can't
mean,
just watch you as an actor and be like, okay, I'm excited. Like how Chris Hemsworth, I know this, we don't count Extraction, but like he's a bona fide movie star in my opinion. Statham even
so
is a bona
I'm
fide
about to
movie
say. I
star.
mean, well, Jason Statham isn't because you didn't go see The Beekeeper. So I
It just
mean,
looked too stupid. I'm sorry, but
okay.
like I said, remember you got to have one of those two things. In I don't know. This movie just looks like you said redundant as hell, so I can't do it. We have the trailer for Dee Dee has been released and coming to theaters July
Mm.
26th. This is the movie about somebody on Twitter called
Coming
it
of age.
the Asian mid 90s, which is so racist but funny.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
yeah, it's my favorite genre, guys, or
It
subgenre.
is.
Coming of age.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Uh, I saw this trailer and I couldn't help but just laugh because like I knew that you were just like, oh my god, it's a coming of age movie and he's a kid, he's in high school, he's going through problems and emotions. I don't care about this, Monty. I'm sorry, man. I won't say that the trailer didn't look interesting to an extent, but like I'm not excited to see this. I'm gonna forget that this movie comes out a week after it does. I'm not gonna go to the theater to see this, so I'll read about it on your Instagram. Or no, I don't have to do
Oh,
that. You'll tell me on here. So who cares?
yeah, A24 has started like a whole new like subgenre of film. It's so funny. Like this is like all these kind of films. Just even though this is a coming of age, it just feels like an A24 film through and through. And I don't know. Like honestly, after watching the trailer, I probably will watch it because I love coming of age movies. But it does look like other movies I've seen before, kind of stitched together. But maybe because it's through the Asian POV, maybe that's what makes it different enough. So, what are you laughing at? So maybe, like I said, I'll probably end up checking this one out, though, to be honest.
You will.
We have the trailer for It Ends With Us. This is the movie starring Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds' wife, and of course, actress on her own. It comes to theaters August 9th. White women are going to eat this up. I can already tell, man. It's funny. My mom texted me. He was like, "Have you seen the trailer for this movie called It Ends With Us?" I want to see it. So maybe more than just white women, black women too. But it's one of those love movies that we get, once in a blue moon. What are your
Every
thoughts?
year. No. This isn't once in a blue moon. We get one of these kind of romance films every year. It seems like. I don't care about this either. It's so interesting, man. Like things that I would have saw when I was a teenager, they just don't interest me anymore. I mean,
You would have saw this when you were a teenager. You would have saw this movie.
Probably. When I was hopeless romantic and when I was looking for love, yeah. But like,
What?
I hate to say it now, guys. I'm
You were
happy.
looking for wait. You were looking for love.
Whatever.
You're
It's just a phrase.
bitch.
Whatever. But like, I'm happy now. So like, these things don't interest me anymore. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I made it. Like, I did it. Like, I don't need to watch this movie anymore. So I'm cool, honestly.
The notion that just because you're happy in love, you can't watch love movies is nuts to me. But yeah, this movie, I mean, I don't know about this one. It is tackling a serious topic, I guess, with domestic violence being the crux of this love story, and how she moves on from her abuser, which is, I guess, empowering. I didn't mean to say it like that.
Yeah, we're fucking done, bitch. Thanks, Mondy. This nigga just single-handedly ended anything we had on the Current Era pod. Oh my god.
Okay,
ladies,
moving on.
no,
Yeah.
we're not moving on. Ladies, I want you to know that we love you, we support you,
We do.
and you get the fuck away from these guys. You don't go back, okay?
Yes, correct.
It's not just empowering. No, we believe in you.
If only you guys knew who he was off the pod. Okay, trailer for
What?
Francis Ford
Nigga,
Coppola's
what?
new Francis Ford Coppola's movie.
Oh god.
Oh wait, that does sound like I'm insinuating that you might be your wife or something like that.
Yeah, thank you. Jesus Christ!
I'm
like
sorry,
what?
That does sound good. If only you guys knew.
Right? Like, if only you knew the piece of shit that you were like. Wait a minute, bro. Like,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I'm just off track. Anyway, we have the trailer for the new Francis Ford Coppola movie, guys. He's director behind movies like the Godfather trilogy, Apocalypse Now, and many more. The film is called Megapolis, starring Adam Driver, Giancarlo Esposito, Lawrence Fishburne, Shia LaBeouf, and more. Any thoughts on this trailer? It's like a big, ambitious movie, apparently.
Yeah, you have to remind me what happened in this trailer. I don't really
I couldn't
remember.
tell you. It looks like a lot of stuff is going on that I have no idea what's going on.
Cool.
Okay, well, he doesn't know about it. Anyway, there has been some controversy behind the scenes, apparently, with this movie. Apparently, 85 years old Francis Ford Coppola allegedly tried to kiss some of the female extras while filming a nightclub scene. And he tried to get them in the mood. That was a quote as to why he did that. And apparently, he spent hours in his trailer smoking weed by himself on studio time on their dollar. So this is a passion project of his. He's been trying to make for years. He hasn't made a movie in like 20 years or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see about this movie. I need to know more about it, even though the cast is kind of stellar, though. We have the trailer for Never Let Go, starring Halle Berry. She's back in theaters September 27th. Horror film. What are your thoughts?
It's so interesting how she's kind of bridged her career from being just this super hot woman and everything that she's into being this thriller slash horror girl where she's got to save you. She's got to look for you. She's got to find you. She's got to know. This is just another one of those movies. And shout out to Halle Berry. I'm not watching this. Now, yeah, I'm not watching this. Even though the trailer looked interesting to an extent, in terms of, okay, stick to the ropes. There's the lifelines. You don't know what's out there, but to me, it just seems like this is going to be one of those instances where they think that this is going to be interesting, but then like when the reveal happens, it's actually not. So I'm cool. I'll save my few dollars.
This movie actually looked pretty good to me. I'm not gonna lie. compared to all the horror trailers we've been getting, it looked different enough. I do like Halle Berry. Hollywood loves that strong black woman trope, don't they? I got my two boys, and we gonna make it through here no matter what. Sure. I hope it's good though. It looked different enough. I think that it has an interesting lore attached here. So yeah, I'm here for it. I do want to know why they can't leave the house or why they can't being attached from the house. So yeah, I'm here for it. Last trailer here, guys, is for Speak No Evil, starring James McAvoy, coming to theater September 13th. Another kind of horror thriller type movie. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
This is interesting. This is really it's interesting to see him in this light because like it's so hard to separate him from Split, where like he's doing these different personalities, which are essentially like we're just kind of picking out a personality and like you know he's pretending to be somebody he's not. He's going to be really intense and I don't know. This again seems like kind of one of those movies where the reveal is probably not going to be anything interesting. And like it's going to be more about the series of events leading up to the reveal, which is fine to an extent. But yeah, this didn't look that interesting to me too, honestly.
Yeah, I was kind of confused on the plot, but maybe that was intentional. Maybe supposed to be
Yeah.
like vague like that. But I do think James McAvoy is made for these kind of roles. I think he's a stellar actor. This he looks like he's able to really get into his acting bag with this kind of role. But I need to see more and hear more about the movie before I commit to watching this one. Because like I said, there's some interesting things in the trailer, but I just literally have no idea what's going on. And typically I like that, but this trailer seemed predicated on the fact that you should have some idea about what's going on for you to have some kind of interest. So, yeah. Let's
It just well, okay, whatever. Go ahead, let's go.
no. What's up?
I was just saying, like, it seems like a typical like slasher movie almost. Like, okay, guy meets a family, he abducts them by trying to be nice, gets them back to where they live, and then chaos ensues.
Okay,
That was
I must have. I like read that trailer all the way differently. I thought it was like his family. He's just becoming like a different guy out of nowhere. Maybe I didn't catch on that part where he was like
yeah, no, he
infiltrating the family.
yeah, like he met this random couple on like a like in the city, and like
Yeah.
he buttered them up to get them to come back to their place as being overly nice, and then he decides to flip the switch and kill them. I guess.
Hmm. Okay. I
Cool.
hope it isn't that simple, but whatever. Let's talk some reviews, guys. Our X-Men 97 review is out right now, guys. It's an hour-long pod with our friend Mike. Check it out. It's really, really good, if I say so myself. X-Men 97 pod out now if you guys want to hear our full thoughts on that. Did you finish any series that you want to speak on before I go into the movies?
Nah, I didn't finish anything.
Okay. Well, did you watch any movies or finish any movies?
No. Well, no. Yeah, no. We'll talk about Planet of the Apes later. So no.
Yes, guys, Planet of the Apes pod coming soon. Well, we will discuss the most recent movies that have come out. Julian has watched them for the first time, and yeah, I would love to dive into those films with him. I watched two films, Back to Black. The first one is Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse biopic. I guess there's no Amy Winehouse fans at all where I'm from because I went there opening night and I was the only one in the theater. So yay, that was kind of disappointing to be honest. But I do think that the actress who plays Amy Winehouse, the actress name is Marissa Abello, did really great in this role. Man, she does really really good. Um, Her singing, she's actually the one singing most of the song for the most part. Her singing's even good at times as well. She trained intensely apparently to be able to sound like Amy Winehouse, but there are times in the movie when Amy Winehouse's voice is on display, like her actual voice, and it's like a night and day difference. And that's no disrespect to Marissa Abella, but Amy Winehouse was like a powerhouse singer. Like her voice was so unique, and so you can just definitely tell when they're actually using Amy Winehouse's real voice. And I kind of wanted more of that, to be honest. Um, I think the movie does a good job of showing Amy Winehouse's sense or her good sense of like affinity for music and her passion for music and her kind of self destructiveness as well, her tendencies. She seemed to be one of those individuals that just felt everything very deeply, whether it be the highs or the lows, which is those kind of things. Having that kind of personality trait does kind of lead to self destruction a lot of times. And yeah, I just think that my biggest complaint is that the film just needed more time with her songs. We spend like she has so many iconic songs off that one Back to Black album, and the film will spend like a 30-second sequence on each one of those songs that are so big. I'm like, come on, like I get it, you guys have a story to tell, but let's sit with this song. Let's let it wash over us for a little bit. Let's in the theater. Let's vibe out. I was the only one in the theater. Let's vibe out to this a little bit more. And so it's typical rise or fall biopic fashion. You know, I just went to it because, like I said, I'm a fan of her music. The fall is never as fun as a rise when it comes to these kind of biopics, and so I kind of fell into that. Overall, I give the film a B minus. I think it's okay. I think Amy Winehouse fans might be pleased enough. And yeah, that's my thoughts on the Amy Winehouse biopic. Next review, guys, is for I Saw the TV Glow. You remember the trailer for this movie with Justice Smith,
Mm-hmm.
A24? So yeah, Justice Smith, man, he's really been impressing me lately with his roles he's been doing. Whether it be, even though the movie wasn't great, American Society of Negroes or whatever, Magical Negroes, he's been turning in some really good performances in my opinion. He does the same thing here. There is a small segment in the movie where he plays a ninth grader at 28 years old, which is nuts. But he even does that well. I mean, he embodies the ninth grader, and it worked for the most part. The plot of this movie is a guy, Justice Smith, falls in love with this show in the 90s. It's kind of like a Are You Afraid of the Dark kind of show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of show. And he becomes obsessed with the show, and the show may or may not trickle into reality. I'll leave it at that without spoiling anything. My favorite part of this movie, guys, is the color palette, believe it or not. I know it sounds kind of weird to say, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, the movie uses only, like, well, not only, but a lot of cool color tones. Like, every scene is filled with, like, blues and greens and purples and pinks, and it just looks really, really cool, guys. It's from like a cinematography. He's laughing at me. Shut the fuck up. From like a cinematography standpoint, it just looks really, really cool. What are you laughing at?
This nigga Mondy really thinks that like he's on the board of reviews for films, and they're like, okay, Mondy, tell me something different about this. The color palette, the greens, the blues.
If you guys watch the movie, you'll totally see what I'm talking about. There's no warm. It uses very little warm colors, only cool colors, and I think it's totally intentional, obviously. Anyway, but I will say, guys, in true A24 fashion, this film is wildly original, but wildly weird. When I say weird, look, guys, I watch a lot of films. This movie is one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It's weird. Weird to the point where I think that, like I said, I watched a lot of movies, so I was able to internalize it and see what was going on, and I understood the movie for what it was trying to do. But the average viewer, I don't think this movie is for them. I wouldn't recommend Julien go watch this movie. People were walking out of my theater, and I get it though. I get it. It's a weird ass movie, and it's hard to track, and you'll probably be left discombobulated, like, what the fuck did I just watch? My biggest complaint with the movie is that everything moves so slow. The dialogue is even slow. Plot points is slow. But at first I was like, okay, I'm kind of hanging on to every single scene because it's moving so slow. But about halfway through the movie, my patience started to run thin. I'm like, okay, can we get to the next fucking point? But when the movie was over, I was left feeling like a very weird. I felt weird watching that movie, but I liked it. I enjoyed the film, man. It's very different. It's very artsy. And I just feel like I can see this becoming a cult classic. I really can. It's one of those movies where, like, I would never recommend this movie to anybody whatsoever. But for those who get it, I think they will form a community amongst themselves, and they'll talk about it for years and years to come. It's really got some interesting concepts in the film, and yeah, I give it a B minus. But I think what's up? What are you laughing at? What the fuck are you laughing at?
It's just so funny, man. These times when you try to sound so superior,
I'm not trying to sound superior. See, if you interpret it like that, that's on you.
You got it.
I'm not trying to sound superior. Anyway, I just think it's marketed wrong. I think that people are gonna think, oh, this is some fun horror movie that A24 is doing. No, it's very much different than that. I'll say that. Anyway, moving on.
What was your grade for that? Sorry,
B minus. Yeah. I don't think you'd like it though. Netflix, Apple TV Plus, and Peacock will team up to form their own streaming service bundle through Comcast. It will be offered at a vastly reduced price, apparently. So it's funny because remember last pod I was like Disney, Max, and Hulu. I was like, well, Netflix to team up with Peacock? Just like a joke.
mm-hmm.
And this news literally came out. So, but that's crazy. And is a Netflix, Peacock, Apple TV deal something that you might get?
I don't think so, but I mean, look, yeah, I don't know. It all depends on the price, right? Like,
right.
I'm pretty sure that $15 a month price point is with ads. I don't do ads, so we'll have to see what the actual price point is. That's probably going to be double. And if it's cheaper than having them individually, or if it's cheaper than because like right now I don't pay for Well, I guess I do pay for T-Mobile technically, or Netflix, excuse me, but T-Mobile pays for it. So right now I'm only paying for Peacock, and I think that's like $5 a month with no ads. So don't have Apple TV and I don't really need it that bad. So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Last segment, guys, is for some video game trailers that we want to discuss. The first trailer is for Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's out right now. It's coming November 15th. This game will have two protagonists, a character named Neo, who's a shinobi assassin, and a character named Yasuke, that I'm pretty sure a lot of us are familiar with, a legendary black samurai. What are your thoughts on the trailer? Do you play Assassin's Creed? And yeah.
I played the very first Assassin's Creed like 15 years ago. And it was okay, but like I didn't think that it warranted a sequel. And boy, was I wrong, because there's been like fucking 30 Assassin's Creed. So there's an audience out there. I'm not one of them. And I'm also not one that is super angry about Yasuke being in this because of the timeline. It just doesn't make sense. The timeline. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. The trailer looked fun though. It looked cool. It looked just like every other Assassin's Creed game. Like they really haven't changed much from what I've seen over the years. So I won't be playing this either. All the controversy around it can go to hell. I don't care. And yeah, shout out to Yasuke. He's back. Keep Lakeith Stanfield away from this if they're going to have any voice lines, please.
Yeah, well, amongst the Assassin's Creed community, and based on what I saw online, people have been really responding well to this trailer. They've been loving it. So shout out to you guys for having a game that you guys can look forward to. Did you watch the Assassin's Creed movie with Michael Fassbender?
No.
I never watched it either. I was just curious if it was good or not.
Yeah, I forgot he did that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure did, didn't he? Okay.
But I remember, like in the movie, like a big thing by fans were having issues with it because he's not actually like an assassin in the movie. Well, he is, but like he's like it's like a video game. Like he's playing a video game, which sends him back in time or something like that. It's not he's not really like in the time period he's supposed to be in, which is kind of weird. But anyway, we have the official trailer for the EA Sports College Football 25 is out now. Fans have been clamoring for this game for years and years. It's finally back. College football on this is a next gen game. It's been described as something very different than Madden. It's not like Madden at all, apparently, according to the creators of the game. So, any thoughts on this?
I think this is, unfortunately, this is going to be one of those cases where like the internet is like blowing things out of proportion. They're overhyping it, kind of like they did with Hogwarts Legacy to an extent. Like, I don't know if you remember like all the hype surrounding Hogwarts Legacy, where you can just go around and you can just kill students and you can just Avada Kedavra anybody and like that.
Yeah,
you can't do that. Like that's not how the game works. So, I think people are taking snippets and blowing it out of proportion as well, in terms of like, oh, like I can have this guy commit to me and I can have that guy commit to me, and like, yeah, I don't know about all that. Then again, I literally guys, I know next to nothing about football. Like I literally just got into football like a year ago. So like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Cool. And you guys get whatever you say you're going to get. This trailer looked like any other football game that I've seen. Like I didn't see anything like super different in terms of graphics or gameplay in the 3.5 minute trailer. It was a pretty long gameplay trailer. But yeah, I mean, I honestly don't really understand the hype around a college football game anyway. Maybe this is just nostalgia. Like people played this when they were younger and then they discontinued it. I don't know. Like I don't know what makes the college football game as fun or better than a Madden.
I mean, you can't imagine being a big college football fan and wanting to play as your team.
No,
you can't put yourself in those shoes of a person like that.
No, sorry.
Wow.
I think being like an actual fan of a college team is weird to me. I'm not gonna lie, like it's pretty weird. Okay. Because they're only so good. Like, do you love Alabama that much? Like, that's pretty fucking weird. Sorry, like. I'm an Alabama fan for 20 years, bro. Tired. Like, yeah, it's fucking weird to me. Sorry, but whatever. Okay.
What the fuck? Well, the argument a lot of times that college fans do make is that the kids care about the game much more because they're actually trying to get to that next level, and it's just a different level of passion and stuff like that. So, just
they care so. So who gives a fuck about that? Like, are they good, nigga? Are they good?
Yes, they're good. Nigga, yes,
are they? Are they though? Are they?
Nigga, that's the highest level of college football. What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is like they're only so good, and then they finally go to the pros, and like then we can see like if they're actually good or not. So
yeah. With that logic, you don't watch any kind of high school sports or college sports at all because
like
they're at the peak of what they're going to be.
Exactly. No, I fucking don't.
Okay, bitch.
Like what? Like what?
Okay, whatever.
Like sure, like if I ever had kids and I was forced to watch it, okay, fine. but like I would literally never walk into a high school and be like, oh, I'm trying to see what the young niggas on. Like, no,
I do
sorry,
that every year. I love it. I
you're a
love
fucking
going to high school
weirdo.
games.
You're nigga. That's yeah. Clip that bitch. You're fucking done, bitch. That's your
What?
second strike today. Actually, that's your third, nigga, because you said something about boys earlier. So
What are you
you're
talking
done.
about?
You're done.
Anyways,
This thing
the
said, I
last
love
video
going to
game
high school.
I
You're 30,
said,
bro.
that's not what I said. Anyway, we have the trailer for What If, an immersive
Ah,
story. This is the Marvel VR game. It's coming May 30th on Apple Vision Pro. It's basically like it's the What If series on Disney Plus, but like for VR. We have the Watchers kind of taking you through him and Wong. It looks like a very Doctor Strange centric game. You're using a lot of his kind of spells like that. Um, I don't give a fuck about this. I mean, I don't have reality VR or whatever, and What If it's just okay to me. So, what are your thoughts on this?
similar. As soon as I heard that they couldn't get blanking on his name,
Ooh,
the Watcher's
Benedict Wong.
voice. No, the
Oh,
Watcher's voice.
the guy
Uh,
from American Fiction.
yeah.
Why am I going blank? Yeah, but yeah,
Whatever. Him. Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Wright. Thank you. As soon as I realized that they couldn't get Jeffrey Wright voice, I was like, okay, they don't care about this clearly, so I'm not going to care about this. And yeah, like they couldn't get Benedict Wong to do Wong, so I was just like, all right, y'all actually don't give a single fuck. So I won't be here for this. Like, and yeah, I don't have fucking Apple Vision Pro, so yeah,
Are you
whatever.
into VR gaming at all?
I can't say that I'm in or not
You
because
dabble.
I've only done it a few times and like it's been cool for what it is, but I haven't found anything that I've been like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. So yeah,
So you aren't one of them niggas that have like the Call of Duty with the actual like the fucking paint gun balls flying at you when you get shot. Hey, have you seen that on
no,
TikTok?
I have not. No, what the fuck?
There's a guy that like simulates actually getting shot when he's playing Call of Duty, so you can actually feel it. And there's like a paintball every time you get shot, like a paintball
What?
comes and hits him. He's playing VR. It's crazy.
No, that's crazy. That is crazy. Have not heard about that one.
Okay. But yeah, guys, that wraps it up. Julian, any more lasting thoughts at all?
Yes, guys, make sure you like the video, comment down below. That's it. Mondy, you're the best. Thank you. Oh, yeah, no, that's not it. There will not be an episode on Monday. I'm going to be busy. We'll be back next Friday. Thank you.
Yes, sir.